All right, what's up, everybody? It's Acer. Call me Acerin. Doesn't matter. Um, some of you, for some reason, subscribed to me. I guess because you liked some of the things that I posted in the comment section. Uh, Questions I've asked, maybe connections I've made. Um, I don't know what the hell. Maybe people want to subscribe to me at all. Maybe they're waiting for me to do this. Okay, so what I want to talk about today is something that I have done or have been in the process of doing since childhood. I want to teach you how to, first, because this is so important, I'm going to teach you how to, with your will and focused intention, break out of sleep paralysis. And this is important because, on one hand, um, on one hand, when you, how do I say this? You don't have to break out of sleep paralysis. You don't have to. You don't have to. Sometimes with sleep paralysis, there's a great deal of anxiety that comes up, and I'm here to let you know that that anxiety is exactly what um, glues you in place. Because once you become anxious, in a nervous way, your energy starts to become sporadic. So you start to want to move, and you're like, I gotta move anything. You try to wiggle anything you can. You gotta get up, right? Okay, so that right there is the main bulk of the problem. Before you even get to entities, before you get to demonic entities, before you open your eyes and see shadows, before you open your eyes and see insects, before you open your eyes and see another world, or, well, I mean, that's kind of a blend between sleep paralysis and being awake. But I mean, call it sleep paralysis. Sleep paralysis is basically, it's not even sleep paralysis in the first place. Not really. I mean, that those words, sleep and paralysis. First of all, you're not asleep, right? How could you recognize that you're paralyzed if you're asleep? You're not asleep. You're awake. You could say, "Oh, well, yeah, your body is asleep still," but is that true? Is that true? If your body is asleep, right? Let me ask you this. Can you still feel your body? Sorry, let's go deeper than that. Let's go deeper than that. Can you feel the electrical impulses going through your body? Now, when you feel, for example, let me teach you how to feel this first, because this is extremely important. First things first. First things first. Your feeling of anxiety is, or, well, it's not your feeling of anxiety. You're feeding into the anxiety or um, fear through lack of knowledge of self and shit like this is what's causing. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm saying everything, blah blah. But with this is my motherfucking thing. So I can say basically whatever the fuck I want because I've been doing this since. I mean, fuck. I've been doing this since I was like 4, 5. I've been doing this for a while. Not to say that I still get trapped in it. I've explored sleep paralysis, dreams, and all those other things. Um, so any feeling that you feel, any intent that you place, or that you, any intention that you uh, strive for. What am I trying to say? Any intention that you create in your mind, any intention, which honestly is intentions are kind of nuanced. Really, people don't really understand them because an intention can be uh, cooked up before you even have a true thought. Your subconscious mind, or what people will call your subconscious mind, these these intentions stir up and they flicker. They flicker. They don't even have to be held on to. They don't even have to be committed to. An intention, for example, you're having a conversation with a person. Let's say you're having a conversation with a person, and uh, conversations are very, or one-to-one conversations can be very sporadic, right? You can't tell it, and maybe it's because I'm a fucked up individual, and I'm always paying attention to things like body language, tone of voice, the look in the eye, but then beyond that, the sensation that I'm getting from them, not let alone their intentions, they're flickering intentions. So if anybody's seen any of my comments, you might have seen me say something about um, people flickering between intentions, because it's so, to me, it's so fucking tangible, and it really fucking sucks when you're having a conversation with a person. Break it down simply, and it's not going to be extra scientific or anything. This is just to say, hey, how's your day? Oh, it's cool. Hey, did you see that new movie? Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, it was good. uh what do you think about how, I don't know, this superhero um beat up this villain, like this villain, or yeah, he beat up this villain. Oh well, yeah, well, when he beat that villain up, I felt bad for the villain because he actually had a point. I wish that they would have just had a conversation. I wish superheroes would, and this is some personal shit, I wish superheroes would actually solve world problems, other than people who actually, instead of being called villains, might actually be trying to solve a world problem type shit. you know. So I say that, and then the guy goes, "Oh, fuck this guy," in his head, in his head, because they didn't like that. They didn't like that guy. They didn't like what he did. Now, is this a big problem? At the moment, no, but it still exists. He might say something like this: "Why do you like that guy?" And I say, "Well, he said, he said what no one else says. Basically, he pointed out things that uh, need to be pointed out, need to be addressed, blah, 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 blah." Okay. So now this guy thinks that either I'm an asshole or I'm naive because I thought. So now they get to testing you. So they'll throw a test out. This right here. Now focus on this. There was a thing that was said. There was a thought in the head. There was an intention. And then there was an action, which is the speaking. Okay. Or there's a bunch of actions with body language, squinching of the eyes or squinting of the eyes, face, blah, 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 twisting of the mouth area, all these little fucking things, looks off to the side. Okay, body language, in short, or true emotional language. um, in between that, an intention came up, and that intention could have been to test. And I'm going to get back to the point of sleep paralysis and how to get out. Let's say a fight breaks out. I didn't like his response to me. And I told him that, okay, go away, leave me alone. Okay. I'm trying to walk away. Okay. And he's bothering me. And I'm getting madder. Or not madder necessarily. But I want you to think about this. Anyone who has ever been in a fight before, if you've ever been in a fist fight, it doesn't matter how old you were when it happened. Shit, the younger, well, I'm saying the younger the better. So like, remember when you was a baby and you poked the other baby in the eye and they slapped you across the nose, so you kicked the baby in the face? No, nothing like that. What I mean is this situation. The feeling is building. You can feel yourself stepping in to him or stepping toward him, dashing toward him, running toward him, kicking him, punching him, anything that it is. And always, whenever I try to teach people this, I teach first with an idea that sounds violent, and they don't get it. Or some people do understand what I'm saying, but they're turned off by it because I use a violent example, or an example that uses an emotion that they're being told is undesirable and is wrong or negative and you shouldn't feel it. Meanwhile, if you learn to feel this feeling, if you learn to uh, induce the burning in the hands, the energy that you would need to get up and go at that one. Go get up and go and do all these things in the name. And sometimes people who have been in a fight, sometimes if you initiate the first movement, if you initiated the first attack, okay, sometimes it's like the feeling itself, the intent itself is so strong. The burn inside your arms and your body is so intense that you have to move. You have to move, and you can't think. It's like almost like there's no. It's like thinking goes away. Okay, and now you're moving. This is important. This is what the fuck you need. Okay? So stop blaming this shit on, oh, a demon was sitting on my chest and it was bad and it was feeding on, like, you probably didn't actually see it feeding on anything. Not to say that in the spiritual realm you need to ingest things through your mouth hole or any orifice that you might manifest. This is to say that there are spirits around us all the time. We are blind. But sometimes people get a glimpse into that other world. And look, just like how it's the same thing. It's like imagine you lived in a world where you can see people who live in another world, but they can't see you. And they can interact with your everyday objects. You have this bed, you have, or this position. Everything is really just a position. All right. Well, if you want to get into that, ask me about it later. It's holding a position. It can hold a position in your mind. It holds a position in the astral because it holds a position in your mind. Because you will manifest, let's say you're laying in your bed, you're going to manifest that bed or a platform to lay on. It might not even be a bed when you actually turn the spirit around to look. Or maybe. It is. It is. It can be. Very well be. But my point is this. The floor. If my point is this. And I'm going to get back into the point of how to manifest this energy, how to control this energy, to wake yourself up, or at least what I've done to do it myself. And we might need this in the future. People might need this in the future. Okay, so first off, like I said, how the bed can be a manifested platform. The bed is like a position or a rule. It is a rule that we believe or manifest as a constant. The same as, let's say, a wall. Okay, a wall. Nobody's getting up. I mean, maybe there are people. I don't know. Fuck it. That people aren't normally getting up and walking through walls. Okay, so why do walls exist in the astral if you can pass through them? It's because of ideation that it exists. But once you pass through the wall, is it still definable as a wall? In what sense? Because it is a barrier to sight. You don't even necessarily have to touch the wall to pass through it. The times that I have passed through walls, I did it to, first off, I mean, fuck the feeling of it, the tingling sensation that not only, I mean, it's so much more intense in the astral body, but you can also feel it in the physical body. The tingling sensation, the arguing with the mind itself. So if I'm passing through a wall, it's because I want to be in the same place as I was when I decided to do it. I want to get to the other side of that wall. I don't want to teleport and then be in fucking Looney Tune world or some shit, or Cool World. I'm not trying to. The idea is to maintain that. The point is the wall. If you can, so the wall. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about air. It's the same thing. Or space, empty space, right? Air. Not say, oh, you get what I'm saying, because you say, oh, a vacuum, but there's space. Whatever the fuck. Point is this. If you can walk on air in the astral, is the air a floor? If the air is a floor, how are you also walking through it and on it? When a so-called spirit or demon, whatever the fuck word you want to use, comes to sit, quote unquote, sit on your chest. What chest? What chest? So, and what power does it really have? It just made you feel uncomfortable. It just made you feel like something was wrong. You think that if a demon was going to come and attack you, it's just going to come and sit on you? You think that if a demon or an evil a thing that you would call an evil spirit, because demon means spirit, it comes from a word that means spirit, and daemon means higher self, spirit. Do you really fucking think? Do you really think that this thing is just going to come up and sit on you, be like, and just look at you? If that in and of itself, it wasn't the point. When you got uncomfortable, you think that wasn't the point. That's absolutely the point. So now back to the fight. Because sometimes, yes, you can manifest enemies. Sometimes you can manifest entities. But there are things that are real, that do exist, that you must be prepared for. And this is the first step to fighting back. So this is going to be a long, or maybe hopefully not too long, a long list of videos of me describing techniques which will break you out of sleep paralysis, and get you a better control or sensation, a better control or ability to create sensations across the body, because you need to be able to do this. Okay. I think the point that I made about like the chest being there, similar to the wall, similar to the air, is not really there. Okay. It's not really there. Okay. So if anybody has ever gone out of body and tried the thing when you look at your hands and seen a silvery light and disappears and it makes the colors and all sorts of shit, and you try to maintain it, if you ever seen like your fingers separate from your hands and then come back and all these other things, and you're just like, all right, fuck it, hands are just an idea, that you have to maintain and manifest, which honestly, holding forms is so much easier in the dream world than it is in the astral realm, unless you've been in the astral realm and you're comfortable enough to manifest forms and things and to hold them, which takes a lot of time and training. So, a lot of time and training. Here you go. Answers, secrets, if you want to call it secrets, that I got from people call them spirit team. I really don't know. I don't know. All I know is that I put the work in. So if anyone has already been doing or has already read, for example, Robert Bruce's Astral Dynamics, New Energy Ways, and practice and actually understand how to manifest a sensation, which look, it's probably either you have it or you don't. I don't know. But if you are an adept with this, if you are already in tune with this kind of thing, okay, if you already know how to create the tingling sensation at the bottom of your toes or at the tip of your toes and pull it up to the top of your head through your hands, tips of your fingers, all those other things, and you can manifest and bounce these electrical impulses, bounce this energy through your hands at will, through your arm at will, through your back at will, through different parts of your body at will, through your brain literally, because literally I can feel my brain. And I'm going to teach something else about the scales of Anubis and stuff like that when we talk about the brain in another video. So use this moment. Use the moment that I was like far away now, but use the sensation that you feel, the anger. Think about the time somebody fucked with you and they push you to the fucking edge. Okay? Think about that feeling. Generate that essence like you ready, like you are going to throw a punch into um, something or someone. Okay? That concentrates it into your fist, or in this case, you're going to need some finesse, your finger. You need to be able to generate or to move this energy or to stir it up at a smaller limb. Okay. Not only that, you have to um damn, how do you even teach this technique to people? It's crazy. You learn shit or not learn shit, or you do things, you practice things, and it's like a long journey, and then you try to tell people the the things that matter. You boil it down and you like, this is how you do this, but then you can't do that because there's so many other tiny little things, tiny little aspects, tiny little things that teach along the way. So yours is going to be different from mine. Okay. Yours is probably going to feel different. What I want you to do is this. If you can feel that energy and you can pull it up from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head, or if you know what it takes, if you know how to increase your heart rate without breathing intensely, without running, without doing anything, without hyperventilating, if you could just breathe normally, or even just hold your breath and send a vibration to your heart, or create a vibration from your heart that is intense, that I want to say, I'm going to say it this way, which is kind of strange, but then I'm going to say it in a way a human can understand it. You want to be able to bounce the energy from your practice. What you want to practice, bouncing energy from your arms and your heart. You want to expand from your heart and contract from the body. Okay? To the point where you can't really tell where the source of the energy is coming from. Okay? You're going to need to be able to focus. You don't want to move every single fucking limb. You're not trying to move the whole body. Okay? The trick with quote unquote sleep paralysis is to only, well, yeah. Okay, I want to say only. Explain this to the people, man. How do you explain this to people? Fuck. You want to create the tingling sensation, let's say in the tip of your index finger, or in your entire index finger. Calm down. If you're in sleep paralysis, calm down, but stay awake, stay focused. Okay, and generate that same sensation of fire or the burn. Send it to your fingertip and then bounce it back to your heart. And as soon as you bounce it to your heart, like the moment, it's not even like a separation. You expand, you explode from the heart, expand back out into the finger, and you move the hand. You jerk the hand. So the trick, as soon as you get the slightest little movement in your finger, you have to surge the energy through your body and shake from the finger, from that finger. It has to come from that side. I'm gonna have to draw something to make this make sense. I try to explain this to people, but it really takes experience, man. And I have some. Yeah, I have some. So, trick is the trick is this. This is what you're gonna learn. Stay dedicated to learning this. Make the sensation as intense as you can while you're awake. Learn how to do this. Okay. Don't give up when you imprison yourself in a dream loop. Okay, because this happens. this happens, you could be uh it's the same way. It's like when you get sleep paralysis and you got somewhere to go, you got to get up for school, you got to get your clothes on, you got to do this, and your parents like, get the fuck up and get ready to go. And you know, you're so, well, before you even become drained, you don't even know why you became drained in the first fucking place. Physical exertion is the same way as like lifting weights. Like you lift weights. Let's say you just start lifting weights, and or doing push-ups. Let's say you just start doing push-ups or some shit like that, and it's your first time you did like, I don't know, 50. You know, and that's 50. You know, like 50 is not a lot to a lot of people, and it's a lot to some people. You know, you do that, and your physical body is going to feel exertion. Okay. So anyone who experienced the sleep paralysis and woke up and felt the drowsiness, that drowsiness is felt at the core of yourself and not really in the physical fucking body. The effect that has, it's like your driver, your driver is damn near a-okay. It knows that an experience happened, but you know, like the car is almost out of gas, or not, the car is almost out of gas. He's tired. Sorry, I did that the wrong way. Bad analogy. The car has gas in it, but the driver hasn't eaten. That's better. That's much better. Okay. So what happens is you drift back off into sleep, and before I get into that, you might have a dream where you get up, and this is astral projection. By the way, you are basically either lucid dreaming or astral projecting. You can astral project from sleep paralysis, and you can absolutely slip into a dream which can become lucid, but it's a different kind of dream. Okay? It's not enough to say dream, astral projection. Some people mix those two things together. I say no, it's more to it than that, even. I mean, projection has a general same feeling and clarity, but you can end up in a different place, different dimension, yada yada. But when you dream, there are different levels, different layers to what a dream is. Okay, so you might be having a dream where, oh, you're just walking around, living normal life, and you know all this other stuff, and it might be a message. You got to pay attention to those because it's just like it's uh what you might consider chaos, but it's not. You're basically like loose, so you're letting things flow. Um, there's another kind of, and then there's another level to that. Let's say, and that's just a sub level to that one type of dream, where you wake up in the dream, and you're still going along with the story. That's like being alive, right, in this world, in this life, and being aware of things going wrong in a dream or in the world, and still being a part of the dream, still being a part of the narrative. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, this stuff is happening in the world. Oh, I'm gonna get into politics now, or some shit like that. You know, you get involved in something that has to do with the structure of the dream itself. Another kind of dream, which is this one is fucking weird. Actually, before I get into that, I'm gonna go do this one first because it's closer to the first type of lucid dreaming. But it's its own animal, period. And I've done this from my childhood as well. And this is something I've done many, many, many times, where you basically are in laboratory mode or creative mode, you know what I mean? And then you can test different things. How do you fly? How do you shapeshift? How do you run really fast? How do you attain super speed? How do you call a door down from nowhere, from what seems to be the sky, and open that door to another area, another region? Shit like this. How do you escape the need for a narrative. And then once you escape that need for a narrative, what is that world? When you look around, once you're awake, you look around and you start to, now, what are you doing? What is it even a fucking dream anymore? Is it even a dream anymore? You're not being bothered anymore. No narratives come up at you. You just have this open space, and you can look for as far as you can see. You could be in a normal looking town that you've never fucking been in before. You could be in a city of ivory and gold with waterfalls coming down from towers. Do you understand? And just roam. You can go. I've been in bars in what might have been Ireland to leave in that place to go into a fucking big ass mansion and it's empty. And I remember the texture of the fucking wood and the positioning of the rooms and all those other things. Like just the positions of the trees and the bushes and the fence that I took to get in and all those other things. There's so many different. Anyway, let's hurry up and make this short because I'm only 30 fucking minutes in. Another type of dream, and this is the most important to this topic. I'm just going to skip the rest because this is getting too fucking long. Is when you or your driver, your soul, who is atrophied, has overworked itself and can't drive the vehicle, which is the body. And you really, really want to. And so you slip into a dream. Your intent to get up and move and do all these things is so strong that you do it in the dream world. You recreate everything. Now get this. This is where it gets fucking weird because this is what I call a dream loop, or a dream loop prison or some shit like that. And you do it to yourself, okay? I'm not sure if people could just show up and put you into it, or a demon can show up and just put you into it. But, because honestly, that hasn't necessarily happened to me. I've interacted with spirits and all kinds of shit. But this is what I'm saying, okay? You fall back asleep. You get up, you do a routine, and you go, oh, fuck, I'm still asleep. Get up. And you wake up, and you try to do what I told you, and you fuck up. Don't take it too harshly. That's how I talk. It's not that serious unless you really, 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 really need to get up. The house is burning. You got to get up. Okay, so I recommend you practice this shit. You wake up, you drip back off to sleep, and then it starts over again. Oh, I'm really up this time. I'm really up, and I'm doing things. I'm up, and I'm getting ready, and fuck, I'm dreaming. Fuck, and you wake back up in the dark. And it could happen. It could happen so many times that you probably can't count it or remember it. It could happen. It could happen 5 times. It could happen 2 or 3 times. But if you woke up drowsy already, it means that it's happened at least 2 to 3 times already. Congratulations. I've had experiences in these type of dreams where, and this is when I started to experiment with it. So I was happy that I actually got sleep paralysis, and I kind of not let myself, but because you have to have the intention to get up, but at the same time, and with astral projection, you have to learn how to lock your body down, or to trick yourself into not believing that you can even move in the first place. You have to feel yourself as if you are in saran wrap, basically, in a fucking sensory deprivation tank or some shit like that, and you can't get up. But you have the full intention to get up, and you can move yourself. You need that. Surge that shit. This is, I think, going to have to be like a part 1. I think I told you the technique already. I explained to you different types of dreams. I explained to you the dream loops. I explained to you how to focus intention, which actually is going to be a part 2 because I need to go further in depth into that, because that's extremely important for lucid dreaming, astral projection, and astral combat. Okay, you're gonna need it. For those who are naturals at it, you're gonna need it more than they do, more than anyone else does, because it's what you are. And I can say that out loud. I'm talking to myself. It's what too. Talking to myself too. It's what you are. It's what you are. You might not have embraced it, but it was a part of your life path. So for those who have had dreams of combat, for those who have had way too real fucking dreams about combat and fighting and dying or whatever the fuck it is, and rituals, all kinds of shit. If you have that, you better be on this. You better be on this. I'm gonna work on part 2, and then I'm gonna get into it. Yes.